Well, I got here, about 24 hours ago almost, and maybe 20. Hung out here, and I was all alone all afternoon at the Alec Kennedy shelter, and suddenly, boom, 5 other people showed up, and spent the evening talking with them. Huckleberry, Gumby, a crock of shit, sorry, but that's his name, and somebody from Fairmore or something like that. I didn't recognize the reference, and everybody else did. It's from Middle Earth somehow. Yeah, and so a couple other people showed up this morning. Rained. I didn't get wet at all. So one nice thing about the Alec Kennedy shelter is the outhouse. It is super cool. Save up if you're headed this way. Save up and come here. Don't go to any of the other privies or dig a hole. This is the one to come to. Well, it's Monday morning. Actually, it's Monday afternoon. I hung out here at the Alec Kennedy shelter, letting the rain go past. The forecast now is that it's going to be sunny for the rest of the day, partly sunny or sunny. So I don't have to hike in the rain. I've got 4 miles a day. I have to hike at least that much to get to Pine Grove Furnace State Forest, to the Iron Master's mansion by Thursday, and today's Monday, so I can do that. Had a great day yesterday. Roses, buds, and thorns. Wow, a lot of roses. I got here real easily. I wasn't alone in the shelter. It was really nice. Friendly people that came in. One old guy, Huckleberry, old guy, like, I think he's a little older than I am. And then some young kids, 20s, 30s, low 30s, if that even. And we talked, and, kind of fun and casual, and that's kind of what I was looking for. I did only have to get up one time in the middle of the night, and that's good. It does mean I'm drinking enough water. A lot of times when I'm out on excursions like this, I don't get up at night, which means I'm not drinking enough water during the day, and that's a problem. So I've been trying to up my water intake, even if I'm not thirsty. So for roses, a real nice place, nice shelter, nice privy. Buds, I'm looking forward to Thursday, getting down to Iron Masters where I could take a shower, sleep in a real bed, take another shower maybe, a couple more showers, sleep in another bed. And then Saturday, that's when my friends from Ohio show up, and we start heading south, south towards Harper's Ferry. So I got some buds going on there. Thorns. The rain was kind of miserable on the poor people last night. They came in sopping wet. I stayed dry. Of course, I was here long before the storms hit, but they came in wet and cold. So that's kind of a thorn. I didn't have a thorn other than that yesterday. Just want them to have a good time. I was having a good time, and I guess they were too. They were laughing and having fun, even though they were sopping wet and complaining about the rain. A couple other people showed up here and there too. One guy had fallen, and just on the trail, a blue blaze out here to the shelter, fallen and cut his hand. He was coming for the privy. He was brown blazing. So that's about it. Thorns, the rain for other people. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. My goal today is a campsite near a little bridge going over some water, 4.3 further south from here. So that's my goal. We'll see what happens. I got lots of options for camping before then. It is 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon, so yeah, I've got until 7 o'clock to actually pick a place to stay. I like to have enough light to throw the bear bag. So I am expecting too that Rob the Nomad will catch me. He's faster than I am and hiking further, and so I'm expecting for him to show up someplace behind me. He'll come up. Well, see you down the trail. See you later, bye. As I was leaving the Alec Kennedy shelter, I followed the blue blaze down towards the spring. They have a map posted there that shows that just before the spring, and the spring is right there in the middle. You can see some lighter weight dirt and wood maybe. There's a trail right there. That trail off to the right heads to the AT south. It's not the official blue blaze to the shelter, but it's an interesting alternative. And the worst thing I got to do, let's say it all falls apart and I get lost, I just come on back to the shelter. So that's the way I'm going to go. This is where the spring is, or this creek is. I'll just show you this for fun. And you say, hold it, this isn't a creek. Hey, John's dad, where's the creek? Well, there's nothing here. But if you go over, follow those ferns, there's actually a little trail that follows along the creek, and you go down 20, 30 yards at most, there's a little pond of water that's coming from this creek somehow. And you get the water out of there. It's easy to scoop. There isn't a good place to treat it like a faucet and fill it up, but there's clean water. It's really good, and nobody's gotten sick so far that I know of. So just a little bit ago, I headed west on the little trail that went past the creek that's the water source for Alec Kennedy. And I'm still on that trail. I haven't hit the Appalachian Trail yet. And look at this perfect campsite. And it appears that just beyond the campsite is water. And so this could be a really nice place to set up. There's an orange blaze, so you can follow it. The only thing I would be concerned about here would be the potential of flash floods. I don't know that there are risks in this area. I just know that a campsite low down by a creek, and the creek is coming from that direction. If it flows down this way, that water's coming straight across. So if this is a place that's bad for flash floods, then don't stay here. I just can't tell you one way or the other. Beautiful site though, man. And here's where we're going next. Not even 100 yards down this trail. This is the one I'm on. Not even 100 yards from that pretty campsite. There you go. You all recognize the white blaze for the Appalachian Trail. Now I know that I want to go south, and that's this way. And there is water here too. Just perfect for picking up if you're approaching from the south to Alec Kennedy. This would be a great place to get water. Or if you're just leaving Alec Kennedy, this is another great place. Actually, it's the same great place. So the hike today includes an up with a little bit of a down, some more up, and then more of a down. I cross a road, and that'll be halfway to my proposed camping site. So we'll see how we're doing. No rush. The trail south of the Alec Kennedy shelter is just rich with camping spots. I haven't showed you all of them. I want to show you this one. Kind of hard to see elevation and slant on a video. This is a perfect spot. You can kind of see that the earth goes down around it. That spot over here looks so perfect, but it isn't. It's a bowl. If it rains here, water is going to run that direction. Even if this isn't exactly level, or maybe there's some bumps in it, this is definitely a preferred spot. And you still get the same fire ring and the same benches, we'll call them. I think this is the rock maze everyone was talking about last night at Alec Kennedy Shelter. It sure looks like it. They talked about arrows and blazes, and so many they actually got confused. So we'll see what happens to me. I think they borrowed some of these rocks from northern Pennsylvania. Yeah, I know, we should have had a couple blazes, the top one offset to the right, but sometimes they paint an arrow. There's the next blaze over there. I came to this just as Twinkle Toes was coming the other way, and she came across with no problem, but she's 2/3 my age. And I decided to take off my backpack and step here and then step down, a couple big steps without the backpack, and then just pulled it back. Left the poles there for a sense of perspective. This was challenging. I sure wouldn't have wanted to jump down this. Very beautiful though. How many thousands of years have these rocks been here? Heading southbound, you come up this trail, and on your right, man, it can't be any more beautiful than this. Place to put a tent, a couple tents, hang your hammocks. Oh, what a beautiful place to stay. Up on a knob. Ah, I can feel the breeze blowing. You probably can't feel it, but maybe you can hear it. Oh, coming down here, there's a switchback. It goes off that way. And you can see the white blaze down there. It does another switchback. Now, you can actually see, I can anyway, people have been cutting the switchback. This is not a good idea. It's bad for the trail. They do the switchbacks for a couple reasons. One is to make it an easier trail for us to hike. We don't want to go straight up a hill. Going back and forth at a 5 to 8 degree grade is really optimal. It also is for erosion. So when the people cut the switchback like that, they're causing erosion, which will wreck both the trail on the top and the trail on the bottom. And it'll have impacts downhill as well, impacts uphill. So don't cut switchbacks. Don't be that person, I think is the phrase, right? Just came from there. There's a big change. Suddenly, I could smell pine trees. Absolutely Christmas kind of smell, just wonderful. If you've been following my earlier videos, you'll know that laying logs across the trail are a signal that says, do not come this way. I'm really not sure how to interpret this. There's a whole freaking tree over the trail. I'm thinking it really means go around the tree. I'm not going over or under, that's for sure. Usually walking around some kind of a blockage like that, 5 yards, 10 yards, something like that. Look how big this tree is. Pretty violent split there as it broke off. So I'm going to keep going and see if I can figure it out. I could get water here. Looks pretty easy to get out there. But there's supposed to be water at the next campsite as well. And then I'll slip having to carry that water so long. Very pretty little area down here. Room for maybe 4 tents. Some hammocks, of course. I'm looking for the Roadrunner. I think it's clear to go across. All right, quiz time. This is the campsite selected at the top of the hill, recommended on Far Out. It's informal, it's not like a designated campsite by somebody. So, checking first, are there any places that are appropriate for a tent? And there really is. Behind these couple of rocks here, that's kind of flat. Not a problem. It's not in a bowl. We don't have to worry about a flash flood here. Trust me, if we have a flash flood here, we got other issues, really big issues. We're at the top of the hill. I think it was 1,100 feet, something like that. So if we have a flash flood that comes up that high, well, you won't be seeing this video probably. So what else do we look for? Quiz time. All right, I know you got it. We're looking for widowmakers. All of these trees appear to be green and living. There's one over there that looks like it might be dead, but that's not a real threat over this way. So what do you think? Should we set up here or keep looking? All right, like I told you before, what I do is I first find a good place for the tent. And just as a full confession, these little rocks that are usually easy to move appear to be attached to the bedrock. So I need to find a place slightly better or position the tent exactly perfect between these rocks that I just can't kick out, can't pull out. But remember, the first thing I did was I find a place for the tent. The second thing I do is hang the bear rope, because I can put up the tent and I can cook and everything in the dark. But it's nearly impossible to throw a bear rope in the dark. So this gives me the opportunity to show you how to tie this friction knot. And so let's see if I can do it here. Oh, sorry, you got to see my thumb. Or is that my finger? I don't know. All right, so let's pretend the bear bag is on the bear rope. I couldn't do this with one hand if there was really 20 pounds of food sitting on the other end. So you got the bear bag at the altitude that you want it at. Bring the rope around and you go under, do not overlap. All right, now you start overlapping. And I realize this is goofy, but I got one hand to do something I usually do two with. I'm overlapping. And one more, and that's it. Depends on how much rope you have, how much overlap you do. All right, now you take the rest of this rope, wrap it up, and you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll show you at the end. I took that extra rope and I just stuck it under here. So the weight of the bag, bear bag, pulls against this rope. It's all friction. In the morning, you pull that out and the bear bag falls. So you do want to hang on to it so it doesn't fall. But that's the secret to this. That's how you create that friction knot. It keeps it up there. You don't even have to do the pinching the extra rope in here. A friend of mine just lets it hang over, and I'm a little bit less conservative, or more conservative. I do want to just stick it in behind here, and then it works, and you can get out. Even if it freezes, you can just pull it out. All right, so now I got to figure out the best place for the tent. All the good places I was looking at had little rocks that I couldn't move. So I'll show you what I end up with. All right, I found my spot. Right here, it's kind of a pointy rock. I'm going to put that in my vestibule. There's a rounded rock right in here. That's okay, that can go underneath. I just won't put my air mattress on top of it. And there's another pointy rock right over here. And that'll be in my vestibule. I'm going to just situate the tent right in there, and right where the sun is going to shine right now. Won't shine there in the morning, but it'll shine there now. And that's where I'm going to put the tent. And there's enough rocks around here. I may be glad that I have a self-standing tent. I don't know if I'll be able to put stakes in everywhere. So I'll show you the aftermath when I get done. All right, I've got my tent set up. So you can tell that I didn't put the tent where I said I was going to. I decided with this bench here, that actually functions better as a kitchen than as a bedroom. I took my footprint out and experimented in different places, and I found a perfect place. The footprint fits just between all of the rocks that I want to avoid. And this is really where I wanted it before anyway. It's on a nice slant. And the original one, it's not a real bowl, but it's a little bit of a bowl. Kind of hard to see from here, of course. So I also wanted to let you know, I found my tent spot, hung the bear rope, but not the bear bag. I set up the tent, then I pull out the air mattress and inflate it, and I pull out my sleeping bag and give it a really good shaking. It's important, especially for the down sleeping bags. But I do it for all of them anyway, just to get the insulation to loft up again. Now I do the air mattress right away because as the temperature cools, the pressure goes down inside the air mattress, which makes it the perfect density for me. If I fully blow it up, it's too hard, but if I fully blow it up and let it wait a few hours to cool to the air temperature, I sleep really good. So I got my pile of a mess over here. I'll hang my bear bag in a little bit. I'll pull out dinner and make that. The backpack and everything goes into the tent. And I won't be making a fire over there tonight. That is too close to my tent. And this is an unofficial place as well. There should be a formal fire ring for me to actually build a fire. if you hold your hands out, your fingers out under the sun, every finger is worth 15 minutes. So this means that the sun is going to set in, an hour and 30 minutes, something like that approximately. And I verified before I turned the phone on to record, and that's exactly right, within just a few minutes. The sun will set in an hour and a half. So what's that tell me? I need to have dinner ready and eaten and cleaned up and consumed, and the bear bag hung. The rope is over there, I showed you that earlier, but I have to have the bear bag hung in an hour and a half. I can do that. If I had much less time, I might have to arrange my priorities. But so far, I'm good to go. Got the tent set up. My welcome mat is out. And life is good. The kitchen is waiting for me to come over and start cooking. Well, dinner's over. I set it up in the kitchen and boiled some water. I had instant potatoes with shelf-stable pepperoni slices. It was kind of not satisfying. It was real salty. I didn't add any salt. I did have to add more water because the instant potatoes became kind of glumpy. They're clumpy. See if I can show you here. I was talking to you about what a wonderful, wonderful bench this was. I sat on it and it rolled over and dumped me on the ground. So that didn't work out so well for dinner. I cleaned up dinner, put the stove away. Picked out one thing I do then at the end of the day, before I hang the bear bag, is I pick out what I'm going to eat for breakfast and snacks. So I've got a couple bars, and for those of you who follow my channel, you know what this is, and that's one of my favorites. Be a great snack in the morning. Roses, buds, and thorns. Roses. Great weather again today, except for the morning where it rained. I left Alec Kennedy shelter about noon. A couple hours earlier, my shelter mates left. It wasn't raining until about 30 seconds after they left, and the skies opened up. And I know they got drenched. They kept hiking though. They were all wet when they came into the shelter last night, and they left fully wet this morning. Clothes, of course, never had a chance to dry. So my rose on that was that I didn't get wet. I did leave at noon, a little after, maybe a few minutes. Found a nice campsite here, and I showed you that. Through the hike today, I came through a rock maze, some people called it, and they said it was like a little Mahoosuc notch, and maybe it is, I'm not sure. I got to one point though, I was a little unsure with what to do, and coming the other way was Twinkle Toes, and I saw what she did, and I just didn't feel safe doing that. But she hung around, and I took my pack off and did a little bit of rock scramble without the pack on, and drug the pack after me, and that worked out real well. I just know that there's a high risk of falling, and who wants to fall? I certainly don't. So buds, it's a real possibility I'll get to Pine Grove Heritage State Park tomorrow. If not, there's plenty of camping opportunities along the way. And so that's a big bud. And not until Saturday that my friends show up. So I'll have a few days off, let my knees and ankles recover, and practice for the half-gallon challenge. Wonder how much practice I need to do every day. Thorns, boy, I don't know. I don't know that I have any thorns. Life is good. I'm having fun. Met lots of people today. I sure don't have anything to complain about. Oh, except for the instant potatoes and pepperoni. That recipe is off my list. It's not coming again. I got to figure something else to do. I do like instant potatoes with shredded chicken and pouches of chicken or pouches of tuna. I do like that. And so instant potatoes aren't off my list. It's just the instant potatoes and the shelf-stable pepperoni. So I do think that it's very possible in the next day or so, Rob the Nomad will catch up to me. He hikes a lot faster than I do, but I kind of skipped ahead. And I don't think it'll take him long to make up those miles. All right. So I think that's it for today. See you later. Bye.